Does it seem strange to you that I have never seen the point of money? Since then, never had much use for it beyond what is merely necessary. I earn quite a lot, but I don't care for it. I give much of it away. Perhaps you knew all along that I disobeyed and went down to the pier because you once said, "I know everything." I hated that. I needed secrets, things that were mine only and never yours. But now, I like talking to you. I want you to know things, and if I still have secrets, and I do, I want to share them, just with you. And now I can choose to tell you, and how much I tell you, and when. Now, I am the one who decides. Chapter 1. A Thursday morning in December, 6:30, still dark, foggy. It had been that sort of autumn, mild, damp, lowering to the spirit. Angela Randall was not afraid of the dark, but driving home at this dree hour, and at the end of a difficult shift, she found the ectoplasmic fog unnerving. In the town centre, people were already about, but what lights there were seemed distant, small furred islands of amber whose glow gave neither illumination nor comfort. She drove slowly. It was the cyclists she feared most, appearing suddenly in front of her out of the darkness and fog, usually without any reflective strips or clothing, quite often even without lights. She was a competent but not a confident driver. The dread, not of crashing into another car, but of running over a cyclist or a pedestrian, was always with her. She had had to steel herself to learn to drive at all. Sometimes she thought it was the bravest thing she would ever be called upon to do. She knew what horror and shock and grief death in a road accident brought to those still living. She could still hear the sound of the knock on the front door, still see the outline of police helmets through the frosted pane of glass. She had been 15. Now she was 53. She found it hard to remember her mother alive, well and happy, because those images had been blotted out forever by that other, of the so-loved face, bruised and stitched, and the small, flat body beneath the sheet in the cold, blue-white mortuary light. There had been no one else to identify Elsa Randall. Angela was the next of kin. They had been a close unit, and everything to each other. Her father had died before she was a year old. She had no photographs of him, no memories. At 15, she had been left entirely, devastatingly alone, but through the following 40 years she had come to make the best of it. No parents, siblings, aunts or cousins. The idea of an extended family was unimaginable to her. Until the last couple of years, she thought she had not only made a pretty good fist of living alone, but that she would never now want to do anything else. It was her natural state. She had a few friends, she enjoyed her job, she had taken one open university degree and had just embarked on a second. Above all, she blessed the day, 12 years ago, that she had at last been able to move out of Bevham, having saved enough to add to the sale of her flat there, and buy the small house some 20 miles away in Lafferton. Lafferton suited her perfectly. It was small, but not too small, had wide, leafy avenues and some pretty Victorian terraces, and in Cathedral Close, fine Georgian houses. The cathedral itself was magnificent. She attended services there from time to time, and there were quality shops, pleasant cafes. Her mother would also have said, with that funny, prim little smile, that Lafferton had a nice class of resident. Angela Randall felt comfortable in Lafferton, settled, at home, safe. When she had fallen in love earlier in the year, she had at first been bewildered, a stranger to this forceful, all-consuming emotion, but quickly come to believe that her move to Lafferton had been part of a plan leading up to this culmination. Angela Randall loved with an absorption and a dedication that had taken over her life. Before long, she knew it would also take over the life of the other. When he accepted her feelings for him,